Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
And welcome, Mianglios. Uh, Mianglios is with me tonight. Ryan is in a plane. He's on his way to Australia. So he'll be with us next week. But tonight we have a special guest of Mianglios. Mianglios, how many times have you been on this show with Ryan?
I don't remember. I want to say like three or four.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. This is the first time I've done a show with you, so it's fun to
Yeah.
get to know you a little bit. We got Saule in the chat. Hey Saule, welcome. Thanks for the disclaimers. I will also say them out loud. But yeah, if you're here, give us a shout out in the chat. Make yourself known if you want to. If you want to lurk, you can go ahead and do that too. That is cool. So, welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday, the show where we talk about any issues or challenges you might be going through in your lives. We are not professional therapists or counselors, and we're not a substitute for professional counseling. We just want to help in any way we possibly can, give a voice to whatever it is you're going through, and talk about it. Hopefully we can help you feel a little bit better about it, help you feel like you're not alone, maybe offer some perspective for whatever it is that you might be going through. So we appreciate all you guys that come and join us. It's nice that it's a smaller group. It's not this huge, stream where the chat is going like 500 miles an hour and you can't even see what's being talked about. Uh,
Yeah.
I like being able to talk to all of you guys and go through some stuff. Hey, Moonlit, welcome. It's good to see you. Uh, yeah, so that's the disclaimer. If you have a topic, we do not currently have any topics, so we're just going to be fielding them from the chat. If you send them to don'tworrywednesday.com, you can totally do that. I can't promise you that we'll get to it tonight because I'll be switching back and forth. A lot of times, um, one of us is producing the show and the other is keeping an eye on the topics. Um, and I'm kind of doing it all. So, uh, so if we don't get to yours that is submitted online, I am sorry, but good place for topics tonight is right there in the chat. So if you have something you'd like us to talk about, send it to us. Looks like Moonlit's got one to kick us off here. What's the best type of apple?
Best type of apple. Is there any others besides red apples and green apples?
Saule says a pear. A pear is not an apple. do you do you not like apples? I mean, there's the evil pear. Wait, there's a person that would come to Don't Worry Wednesday that called herself Pear.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she's not evil. She was really nice. Cooked apples are good. Good pear. Yes, good pear. Cooked apples. Like in an apple pie?
Oh yeah, those are good. I've never just straight up cooked like an apple on its own,
Yeah, I
but
don't think I have either.
in like a pie or something, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite apples come in a can and they're like the pie filling apples, like
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
cooking apples aren't the best to just eat. Oh, they're different kinds? Like cooking apples are different kind of apples? I didn't know that. I mean, you're right, Mianglios. There are different there's red apples and green apples, but there's like all kinds of different strains of apples.
Oh yeah, there's like Gala,
Mhm.
and that's the only one I remember.
Gala, Golden Delicious, Macintosh, Granny Smith. What's the one that everybody was into for a while? Brayburn. Brayburn were the ones that a bunch of people were into. Um, I don't know, years ago. They were the only kinds that were in my house. It's like, okay. But it was weird though because some of the apples that were really really red, you'd get them in the store,
Mm-hmm.
and all they were almost like the red would wipe off. Like they put red coloring on them to make them more red, and then when you'd get them, like you'd wash them, and like the red would come off on the paper towel and on your hands and all that stuff. Oh yeah, pink ladies, that's another one. Jazz apples.
Yes.
Have you
Um,
heard it? I haven't heard of
Moonlit
jazz ones before. Jazz apples.
Moonlit said jazz apples. I'm like, jazz apples?
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yes. Ah, so you're right. Apple cobbler is really good. I like apple cobblers, apple crisp. Um, I don't know if I've ever had stewed apples though.
I don't think I have either.
Okay.
Apple sauce is also good.
Yep. Yep. So the more sour types are cooked. So they take a sour apple and really jazz apples are your favorite, huh, Moonlit? That's cool. I have never had a
Mm.
jazz apple. I've never heard of a jazz apple.
Yeah, I've never heard of a jazz apple. It sounds like it'd be like a jazz quartet or something. The jazz apples.
Yeah. They're extra spicy, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you eat stewed apples as the vegetable at dinner. I see. That's cool. So if we're talking about apples, you know it's fall, and so now is the time when all the cider mills are starting to get going where I live. We've got a bunch of apple orchards around, and cider mills and stuff like that. And so now they're making tons and tons and tons of apple cider, and it's really good. It's kind of a fun time to go, and you can go and pick your own apples. And I mean, pineapples, okay. I like pineapples. I mean, it's not really an apple. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, it says apple in the name. It's an apple. Okay.
I mean, technically, if another type of apple, if we're just going off of the word apple, is the phone kind of apple.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have an Apple phone myself,
Me
but
neither. If I had one, I'd probably bite it. Apples grown from pine trees. I mean, I've never seen an apple on a pine tree. Isn't a pineapple plant like really weird and little and they kind of grow like on the ground?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a pineapple like in a tree. Like I think I've always just seen it already like picked out of a ground or the tree or whatever, just like as its own thing.
Right, right. I've only seen them at the store. I've never seen them in like growing. So I guess I don't know. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
apples are good. I like them. I don't know. I don't even know what my favorite kind of fruit is. Probably some kind
That's a
of
good
berry.
question.
Probably like a strawberry or something. I like strawberries a lot. Grapes are
Yeah,
good.
strawberries are good. Grapes.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, there's a lot of good fruits out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then vegetables, broccoli's. I wouldn't say broccoli's my favorite, but I'd say it's underrated.
Mm.
Like they always are like, there's always that trope of broccoli being bad, but I'm like, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially if you put a bunch of cheese on it. Like cheese sauce.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that at restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the best way to have broccoli, in my opinion. But it's good with just some salt and butter too.
Yeah.
I don't know. So wait. Moonlit, you think jazz apples are the best. Saule, um Saule likes cooked apples. I'm not sure what kind of apple's my favorite. What about you, Manglios?
Um, I think the only apples I know of that I've had are the red gala apples.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's my favorite, but I also like haven't compared it to other types to like really make a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're called, but I kind of like my favorite apple is ones that I have picked from a tree and they're not huge. They're just like small. They are a little bit more tart, a little bit more sour. Um,
Mhm.
but and they're also softer. Like anytime if I go and buy like really big, they look so good at the store. They're like big and they're shiny and they're either bright red or bright green and they look so good, but they're really really tough. And so like you bite it. Anytime I go and get them at the store, I bite into them and they're like really hard. But if I go and pick ripe ones off a tree, then they're a little bit softer, a little bit chewier, and more flavorful. I think so. I think those are probably my favorite kind of apples. Are the ones that are you just go out and grab it off the tree, wipe it, shine it up on your shirt or whatever, and then eat it.
Nice. That sounds like, in addition to tasting good, like it'd be fun, like picking the apple off the tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's always fun. You go out there. They have apple orchards where it's like, okay, here's a basket. Go and pick your apples and then bring them back, and then they weigh them, and you get to then you pay for however much it weighs, right? Um, but I don't know, man. They probably don't account. Well, they probably just expect people are going to be eating them out there while they're walking around. But man, we would eat so many while we're out picking apples. It's just like eat a bunch of it, then just chuck the core into the trees somewhere, and you know, pick another one and try it. And you're like, oh, these ones are really good. Let's get a bunch of these, and I don't know. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that and cherry picking is fun. I lived in Traverse City, Michigan, for a handful of years, and that's like cherry capital of the earth. Well, at least that's what they say they are. And they've got,
Mhm.
cherry orchards everywhere. And in the late summer, you can go out and pick cherries and oh, they're the best. And it was always funny because like we'd always get there and stuff would be picked over. And so I'd end up climbing up the tree to bend down a branch so people can like pick cherries because all the ones that were normally within reach are already picked over already, and so it's like you got to go up higher. In order to do that, somebody's got to get up there. And I always got voluntold to do it. Not that I mind. I like climbing trees anyway. So
Yeah.
it's just fun. Zay, hello, friend Zay. I wish you could be here more
Well,
often too. And now you got to go. It's like hi, bye. But you
well,
stick around a while sometime.
yeah.
Yes. While we talk about apples, yes, we should put out a request for some topics. You can uh boy, do we have a place on the servers to put topics? I don't think we do actually. Um and there are people in a call in the Static P Friends server. Oh, it looks like Ellie's there and Moonlit are there. Man, we ought to just get you guys in this call too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Um, we used to do that sometimes. We'd have like a whole community um don't worry Wednesday. Were you involved in those Mianglios?
I was never in the call, but I remember those happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we totally could do that. I think I have a community screen. Yep. Where then everybody could be on here.
It's been a while. It's been a while since like y'all have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But cool. So if you guys maybe we will do that. What do you guys think in the chat? You guys think we ought to do that? You guys want to be in a live stream conversation with everybody? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Either way, if you have stuff for us to talk about, go ahead and put it in the chat. If you want to reach out on Discord, I would suggest sending myself or Manglios just a direct message in Discord. We'd be happy to talk about whatever it is. As Saule says, we are not professionals. The information we give is not a substitute for professional advice. We're just trying to give back and support you as you're supporting us. Send us a topic. You can go to don'tworrywednesday.com. I will double check the list of topics right now and see if anything came in. Oh my gosh, look at that. We have some.
Oh, we do.
Yep, we do. All right. So I'm not going to be able to put these up on the screen. Looks like they're both submitted by anonymous. And we do have one that is urgent. Yes,
Let's do that one
we
then.
have two topics. One of them is urgent. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I will just see, can I put it up on the screen? Um, oh yeah, okay. So I can put the topic up on the screen. We'll start with this one. Looks like it's about what you do while you're on furlough. Huh.
Do you know what that means? Or maybe they explain it in the topic.
Maybe furlough. I think is like it's kind of like paid time off. I think
Oh,
for
okay.
like federal employees. Furlough definition. Let's just see what it is. Suspension or discharge of a worker or workers on account of economic conditions or shortage of work, especially when temporary. Ellie, Ellie, welcome. It's good to see you. Your ears are burning. Yes, I'm talking about you. I was talking about you and Moonlit in the in the Static P Friends server. Um, and I'm sorry your ears are burning. I'm sure they're beautiful, even though they're burning. Yeah, because especially, are we giving advice? You got lots of advice. Oh boy. So, all right. So we'll do this first topic first. And probably like right now, I heard. See, I don't watch the news like hardly ever. I don't, you know, ever watch the news like ever. But
That's me too.
yeah, but I did hear that the government's like shutting down or something because they weren't. Yeah, okay. So Saule says they've been talking about it on the news. Basically, the employees are unpaid and unworked until the government shutdown ends. So okay, the government has to do with the current government shutdown. Got you. Okay. So I'm gonna put this topic up on the screen and I'm gonna read through it and then we will talk about it. So here we go. It says, so any ideas for what a federal employee could do while on furlough? Literally sent home and told it is illegal for you to work at your job. But since you're still on the books as an employee, you're also not allowed to take an outside job. You don't get paid until you are brought back in after the furlough ends. And then you get paid for all the time you're told don't work. Not sure how I feel about that last part. Getting paid for time that I am not working or even on standby for work is something I don't necessarily agree with, even if I am forced into the situation by my employer. Even more so because I get paid through taxes. And that is from Anonymous. So any ideas on what to do when you're being told not to work? Oh my gosh, I can think of a lot of ideas. Um, man, and really it just kind of depends on how much money you have to do it. Yeah, budget with the money you got. You're not allowed to take an outside job, but are you allowed to do stuff like work and just get paid under the table? I don't know. I mean, I've done that in the past where I've worked and then it's just kind of been, not accounted for on anybody's taxes. It's been just like cash, where, mow some lawns, somebody pays you 20 bucks, 40 bucks, whatever. Um, yep. Sell, read books, work on self improvement. Uh, Ellie says a lot of people store up an egg, like one egg.
Hey, tomorrow.
How long can you store an egg before it goes bad? What do you think,
That's a good
Mianglios?
question. Um, I don't know. I feel like I've seen like there's been times that I've had eggs in the fridge for a while. Like I don't think I've ever had an egg that was in the fridge so long that it went bad.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yes, I
Um,
know, Ellie. I'm just picking on you a little bit.
and then in the topic, are they like I didn't quite understand it. Are they like being paid while they're being forced not to work, or
It's
do they not get paid until they go back to work?
right. It's like it looks like you don't get paid right now. I'm sorry. Uh um so let's see. You don't get paid until you're brought back in after the furlough ends. So during the furlough, your time off, your forced time off, right? You're not paid. But then when you go back, you are paid and you're paid for the time that you missed as well. So it's like a temporary
Interesting.
time with no money, but then you get paid for that time at the end, it looks like. So that's the thing about
Interesting.
being a government employee.
That's kind of weird.
Okay, so it says my understanding is they don't get paid until they go back to work, but then they get paid for all the furlough time. So, okay, I'm a psychic. My big brain. Look out for my big brain. Oh man, my big brain is exhausted. But yeah, so okay, so ideas. What can you do with the time you're being told you can't work? You're a federal employee, government shut down, so now you're sent home. There's no working, right? And then, but you can't take another job, like officially. And and then when you go back, then you get paid for that time. But in the meantime, you don't have any income. So what do you do?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think, Manglios?
if they have money saved up, then, take up a hobby or just take some time to chill, like maybe spend time with like friends and family that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you could, spend more time with them
Sure.
since you're off work. If you're low on, like if you need the paycheck like now, that's a little bit more of a tricky situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're good on money for a while, you can just kind of chill and find stuff to do. But like if you need money and like you can't work, that's a little bit trickier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you think? like a work whenever you want to job like Uber Eats or like DoorDash? Like, do you think something like that would count as getting another job? Or since that's like you just can stop it whenever you want to and you just like you're not stuck in like a working hours, certain hours, like do you think that counts?
Mm, probably because there's some kind of a paper trail involved with that.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times, like if I'm gonna do any work, like because sometimes if a furlough takes a while, if you're on there for a while, then you know you might start to struggle a little bit financially. I can see that happening if a furlough goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you're used to getting paid every 2 weeks. Unless you have the nest egg that Ellie was talking about, it might become a little bit of a challenge. And so you might have to find ways to get a hold of some money. Um, and I don't know if loans are available for people on furlough. You might be able to talk to a bank if that's the case. Um, Ellie got down to under $700 in her account while still having bills to pay. I understand that feeling. Hey, Twashu, welcome. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. We're thinking about making this
Oh,
a community show. Um, we got. I just noticed Ellie and Moonlit in the Static P Friends server, so I'm calling them out. But our topic right now is what to do when you're on furlough. If you have any ideas, put them up in the chat there. Ellie's lighting up the chat. This is good. Um, but yeah, I think so. Saule said they don't get paid until they go back. Um, Saule says this. I'm reading it on OPM. You can't really make plans while you're on furlough because you don't know when it will end. When it ends, you're expected to report in right away. Um, okay, if you're desperate for money, it looks like OPM is offering unemployment during the furlough. Looks like you have to pay it back afterwards, though. So, okay. So maybe it would be a wash with the money you get, the back pay when you go back from furlough. As long as you don't take more, you don't borrow more than, you would normally make, during
oh,
that time.
yeah. It seems like if they really need money, that would be a good option. I also like what Ellie said here of if you have a good relationship with family, then you could always seek help from them. And like if you're guaranteed to get paid for like the time that you were off, like
Mhm.
any financial help you get from friends or family, you can pay that back whenever you are brought back to work.
Mhm. Yep.
So it looks like there's it seems like there's multiple options you can take if finances are a concern here.
Mhm. Yes, I think what Ellie is saying would be a better route if you can't just wait it out on your nest egg. Yeah. A lot of times if you can keep official channels out of it, if you can borrow money from friends or family to help, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, you know, that it's a lot less complicated in my experience than, going and getting like a payday advance loan. Those are great. I remember doing that once or a few times actually. There are these places that are like, oh yeah, payday advance, and then you read the documents, the paperwork, and the interest rate is like 300 and some percent per year, which is crazy ridiculous. But that's because it's
Yeah.
like a short term loan. They're expecting it to be paid back in a couple weeks or a month or whatever, right? And so then you get caught in this cycle of just you're paying all this interest and it's ridiculous. I said I had lots of advice. I honestly didn't know that I would have lots of advice. Hey, well, we're glad you do. But
Yeah.
yeah, test a bunch of different apples. Make a tier list. What are the S tier apples? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That would definitely be a fun video if it doesn't already exist.
What to do
Although,
while
you
you're on
know,
furlough?
one person's opinion of an S tier apple might be different from someone else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you
I
what a lot
do.
of people probably will do. Go ahead, Moonlit. Or Mianglios.
Uh, I was gonna say, like if I had money to spare and like someone I knew like needed finances and they were like pretty definite to like be able to pay it back because they would get paid later. I think I'd be like in that situation like willing to like lend them some money because like if it's a like very high chance that you know you're gonna get paid back
Mm-hmm.
later, then you know, and you can help out like you know the person that you care about. Like I feel like um you know if you have good friends and family, they would probably be willing to help you out here.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Joe?
I was saying, I tell you what, a lot of people probably will do while they're on furlough is probably sit around and watch TV or Netflix or YouTube or whatever. And but that to me gets kind of boring after a while. I mean, you can only watch movies so much. It always, whenever I sit around and watch a lot of movies, it just makes me feel like I'm sick because that's what I do when I'm sick.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because I can't really do
yeah,
anything, and like when I'm sick, I don't even really feel like gaming that much. You know?
yeah, I'm the same way. I like to watch stuff when I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
Yep.
when I'm sick, I specifically watch kids shows.
Oh.
I discovered Bluey that way. I turned on Disney Junior and came across it, and I was like, wow, this show's actually really good.
Yes. I got issues with Bluey, but we won't bring those up. It is a very good show. It's as far as kids shows go, it's very well put together and it actually teaches good stuff. Um, but I got my own issues.
Valid, valid.
So, yep, Ellie, you're right. The TV bill adds up too. Yep, keep an eye on all that stuff. Um, oh wow, in high school I ate a lot of beans and rice because that's all we could really afford after my dad lost his job. I totally get that. Beans and rice is cheap. Ramen noodles is cheap. I think the other day I had ramen noodles and green beans and peanut butter for dinner, not mixed together. They were separate, right?
Did you dip the green beans in the peanut butter?
No, I did not. I just had green beans with some salt straight out of a can, and it was good. Yes, beans and rice will fill you up. Now, probably green beans are not the best beans to have for beans and rice. You probably want like kidney beans or black beans, some kind of a legume that has some protein in it. Yeah, you got to make sure you have protein. Green beans don't really have protein. They got a lot of fiber. Um, but yeah, Saole's got a good piece of advice here. If you're worried about what is happening in the future, maybe spend the time to update your resume. Then you're prepared to move on if you have to. Not sure if this advice helps or makes it worse. No, I think that's good advice. I think it's good to cover your bases and, be able to think through, well, what if, like this furlough is happening, and the reason it's happening is because there's a budget debate going on and they can't agree on the budget. And so since they can't agree on the budget and the deadline passed, they shut the government down. And so now they've cut, and told all these federal employees not to go to work, and they're going to be there until they get this bill figured out, right? So I'm guessing it won't last too long.
I think I remember all the furloughs I've heard about in the past usually don't last more than like 2 weeks or like a month at most.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, there we go. Some stores will sell items 50% off if they expire the next day. Yeah. You can keep an eye on stuff like that. Uh, yeah, these are some good ideas, guys. But yeah, like I don't know, what kinds of things would you like to do if you have time off, and you don't want to do stuff that takes you far away. I mean, like Saule said, you might have to go back really quick, so you can't like take a 2-week trip to France or something. And even if you did have the money, because you might get an email or a phone call and be like, okay, you got to be back at work tomorrow. And so then, but you're like, oh, but I got a week and a half left in France. They'd be like, okay, we're hiring somebody else then. Um, but so like, what are the things you can do close to home? If the weather's nice, you can go walk. You can go find parks, to walk around in. Take day trips to places. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of things you can do that don't cost a lot of money. I
If you
mean,
have friends and family that like are available, you could spend time with them.
mm-hmm.
Or if you're into video games, you could like play a game that you've never played before, or like continue playing a game that you like but haven't had a whole lot of time to play.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie says you could pick up a musical hobby, or you could start crocheting or knitting.
Yep. And Moonlit says you could buy even more apples and make a tier list. We're back to the apple tier list. Or you can go to, if you have apple orchards around, you can go to the apple orchards and do the you pick your own apples thing and make a tier list of fresh apples straight off the tree. It is that time of year. Yep, Salole, hiking if you have trails nearby. Yes, hiking and taking pictures while hiking. Absolutely. My phone is full of all these pictures of this park that I walk around. Um, yeah. Wait, you eat the apple tier list? So you eat the apples and then you eat the list? I mean, what if it's on your computer? Do you have to eat the computer? If you put the if your computer is an Apple computer, then you have to eat the computer because it's an Apple.
Yeah.
Invite some friends over and have a fun night. They bring food. You can play a DVD so there's no streaming. Is there some. What's wrong with streaming?
Yeah, you have to like pay a subscription to like streaming services.
Oh, right. I
There's a
see. I
few I
see.
think that are free, like Peacock, I think, is one where you can watch some stuff on there for free.
Well, a lot of us have these subscriptions anyway.
Yeah. But like if they get short on money and they have to like
If you got to cancel some of that stuff for the time being. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. That's true. The tier list may take a while, which is, I guess, kind of what you want. Yeah. 7,000 types of apples? Are you serious?
Dang. That's way more than I would have thought.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, then you got to buy all those different kinds of apples too, so that could get interesting. Unless you put the word out, you say, "Hey, I'm making an apple tier list. I'm taking apple donations. Bring me an apple." The omniscient Wikipedia, 7,000 types of apples. That's crazy, man. Holy cow. Oh, that's a good point, Saleh. I'm not sure I would recommend gambling, Ellie, but if you know you're better at it, is it really gambling? It's gambling for them. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. But cards is fun. How many of you guys know how to play euchre?
I've never heard of
You've
euchre.
never heard of euchre. Anybody in the chat? Somebody help me out here. Somebody has to have heard of euchre. Have you heard of it before, Ellie? It's weird. It's spelled funny. It's like euchre. That's how it's spelled. I just put it in the chat.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking it was gonna be spelled. Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right. Well, you can play Yu-Gi-Oh then. I don't know. Like euchre is funny. Like it's a Michigan game. Like you get outside of Michigan and hardly anybody knows what it is. But in Michigan, everybody knows what it is. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have figured it would have gotten out there by now. I did find a phone app that has euchre.
Oh, Ellie says they know what it is.
Yes. Thank you, Ellie. Gin rummy. Yes. God, what was that? I don't think I've ever played that, but I've heard of it. And I played a game that was kind of designed, to be like that. And it was fun. Oh, wait, you. Well, are you talking about euchre, Ellie? Because you do have to kind of learn it a little bit. You kind of always suck at the beginning. But part of it also is your partner across the table because you're partnered up. There's four people and you're partnered up with the person across the table. And so, like you're working together. And so sometimes it's your teammate that's not very good.
Hmm. Interesting. I
Or you
might have
get
to
bad
look.
cards because you
I
can't get a
might have
bad
to look
hand.
that up later to see how to play it because that sounds like a fun card game.
Right on. It is fun. Um Oh, James joined the Discord. Now you're teaching him how to do a southern accent? Ellie, you can speak with a southern accent? um Yes, I know you. That's true. That's true. But these are a lot of great ideas, guys. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do. But I would try and be creative. I know some people that it's like they only want to do stuff if it costs a bunch of money. Like if you go to the movie theater all the time, that gets expensive. Or if you go
Oh,
shopping all the time, that gets expensive.
or eating out all the time.
Eating out all the time gets expensive. Over half the server thinks you're British. Honorary Brit. Isn't that where you're from, Moonlit?
That's I feel like you're doing a pretty good accent, Joe. I don't think I could do a British accent like that.
It depends on what day it is. I am British. Part of it is because I spent, you know, a handful of years talking with John O'Taylor like every week. And multiple times a week, like sometimes daily. And so I got to learn some of that accent. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but I am still a Midwestern American. How is Jono doing these days? That's a really good question. I've talked to him intermittently recently. I know he's working on some music. I know he's done with university and he's working in a recording studio. Um,
Oh, nice.
Yep, and which is right up his alley, and he's been working on some music. Yeah. Yep. Me too. Like we were working on an album together, and then everything, went crazy. I got divorced, and um, everything exploded, and we still worked on it for a while. Then everything at university got crazy for him, and he wrapped that up and got a job, and we kind of lost contact a little bit. Yeah, life changes will do that to you. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, but as far as I know, he's doing pretty well. He did tell me he's decidedly single, and so I was really impressed with him with that. I was glad to. I'm like, it's not a bad thing, my friend. It's okay. It's okay to be single. Um, it
Yup.
it's
It's
okay to
also
it's
okay
okay to
to
be in a relationship too. Just don't let me darken your parade. Yeah, you said you have a girlfriend, right?
yeah.
All right. So I won't bash your girlfriend just because she's a girlfriend. Because I'm sure you love her,
Yeah.
and she's the most special girl in the world. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we have a pretty solid relationship.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
But I
And
totally get, like, with your experience, wanting to stay single, like, after what you've been through.
yeah, my experience with women has been very interesting. I've had to learn a lot about psychology as a result. It's been an interesting ride. But so I mean that's something you can do when you're out on furlough. You can find yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, depending on, what who you are and where you're at and stuff. Um
Or spend time with the one that you have if you already
that
have one.
you can do that too. Mhm. But I think one of the keys, like it's real easy when you have time like that off. I've never been on leave quite like furlough where I'm not getting paid, but I'm going to get paid for all that time when I go back. That's an interesting twist on things. Um, but I can see it being kind of frustrating if you don't keep yourself occupied to some degree. You can take the time, you can read books, you can go for walks. I would definitely try and get out of the house some, get out and experience the world a little bit, the world that's close by you because you can't really go very far. But, most of the time anywhere we live, there's a lot of there's a lot of places to be seen, no matter where you're at. Usually within a few hours drive, you can get to something pretty cool. And sun is good, makes you happy. Yes, vitamin D, right? That's why Michigan is depressed because we're all super cloudy over here all the time. But yes, it fights off the depression. Um but yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there's there's a lot of things you can do, and I would definitely get out. What makes a lot of sense? That Michigan is cloudy, so we're all depressed over here. Yes, so like getting some sun and getting some exercise is very good. Yep. And that doesn't mean you have to go and get uh wait, you're cackling. Getting some sun, getting some exercise. You don't have to go get a gym membership. You don't have to go and spend a lot of money. You can just go for walks. You can do some push-ups. You can
Yeah.
run in place. You can, oh, go see some sun. Yeah. I have to go to a different state for that.
And try
Actually,
not to let yourself get too, like, worried and, like, focus primarily on like when am I gonna get sent back? When am I gonna get sent back? Like definitely be like, you know, paying attention for like whenever you get the message to come back to work, but like don't be worrying about it all the time. Like there's nothing you can do about it. So try not to get too worried about like how long it's gonna be, when are they gonna send you back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you need to like prepare for like if it's a while, then like, you know, make preparations, but don't just, you know, be worrying all the time about it.
Mm-hmm. When that can get tough, like the longer it goes, you know, because you might be sitting there like, oh yeah, this is only going to last a few days, and then we'll be back, and then maybe it lasts a week, and then you're starting to think, man, like, are we ever going to get to go back here? Like this is getting kind of crazy, and then it'd be really easy to kind of get down in the dumps when you're not keeping yourself busy. Uh oh yes, very good advice. Very good advice, Ellie. 100% pay attention, but don't be engulfed in the stress of looking at your notifications about work. A watched pot never boils. Yes. And when you're watching, like, time goes by so slowly when you're like really paying attention to that. Like, have you ever been like you're texting with somebody and they're important to you, and so you're texting, and then like and so you send a text message or whatever, and then you go and you're waiting for a return text, right?
Yeah.
And you just keep checking your phone, or you just keep checking, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man. And then you're starting to get all stressed out. Maybe this is me because I'm neurotic, and maybe you guys don't have this issue, but I can remember having this issue where I'm looking at my phone all the time, like, why haven't they texted back yet? They haven't texted me back yet. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, and it feels like it's been forever, and then you check the time and it's been like 7 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
oh, thank you for some solidarity. I'm not alone in this deal.
Sometimes I'll catch myself waiting for a reply and then I'm like, I should do something while I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go find something to do. Go. You're gonna get food. Get me some food. Have some food. you're you're multiple time zones from me, so yeah, you don't have to bring me food. But wait. Oh, you're hypoglycemic. Well, you better get some food. Moonlit wants food, but Moonlit's got the 7,000 different kinds of apples to try here. So, yeah. Ellie, go get some food. We'll see you when you get back.
Yo,
And thanks for the input. Your advice is great, Ellie. Thank you.
yeah.
Moonlit's got to try apples. You better go get some apples. Ah, Sally says I've had people text me, then send a flurry of 5 texts asking why I haven't responded yet. Each one interrupted me typing my response text. That was years ago in high school, though. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Because when we get focused in that world and we're like checking all that stuff, it's like time seems to just drag, and like 2 minutes is forever. And you're like, oh, why haven't I got a message yet? And like, so every day, like if you're constantly watching, you can really, really put yourself through hell.
Yeah.
It can get really, really stressful. So then, yeah, just don't worry about it. Like Sally says, good point, Leos. Something I learned from DWW is that you shouldn't worry about what you can't control. That's true. Now, you can't control much of anything a lot of times. The thing you can control is what goes on in your brain. You can control your thoughts, right? Like you can't always control a thought popping into your head. Sometimes thoughts just randomly pop into your head and, then you have to deal with it. But you can choose whether or not to focus on it. And sometimes we get carried away and we don't even really consciously know we're making a choice, but we are choosing to focus on that, right? And when you learn how to choose your focus, when you learn that you have that power and you can choose to focus on something else, a lot of things go a lot better. And now, while you can't control things that things that go on in the world outside, like you're not going to have any control over how long the furlough is going to last. You can control your attitude about it. You can control what you do during it. You can control, okay, well, and a lot of it's going to have to do with um like what's your thought about what's going on with the furlough? What's your attitude towards it? Are you thankful for having the time off? Because you can go both ways, right? You can be like, oh my gosh, I'm not at work, and da 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 da. And I'm sure there are people that have stressful marriages that really don't want to be at home with their spouse. I'm sure that's out there sometimes, right? I want to not be home. And so they're going to probably tend toward a negative attitude about the furlough and be like, when am I going back to work? And they're going to be chomping at the bit to get back to work. Other people really don't necessarily want to be at work. And so they're going to be really happy to have this time off. But here's the thing, we can choose how we feel about this by the thoughts we choose and the attitudes we have about it. And so, I don't know, I would take a page out of Ryan's handbook, Static P, and just be like, hey, we never know. We never know what's going to happen. So just get excited about the changes, right? This is like in the song,
Yeah.
Life Might Take Us,
Yeah.
right? And so when something happens, be like, oh, and you can approach it with a sense of wonder. You ever, I don't know, I have a hard time with this sometimes, but I've realized that if I can start approaching things with a sense of wonder, it seems to help. And I don't
I
mean
think
like, go ahead. What?
oh, I was just gonna say I think I like in my experience I found like the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can look at it with a sense of curiosity, with a sense of, how is this going to work out? I don't know. We're going to find out. And then, you can kind of get a little bit excited about, okay, well, what can I do today? I'm free. I don't have to go to work. What can I do? And depending on, what you like, what your interests are, what your predilections are, you're going to find some stuff to do. And it doesn't have to cost any money.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And then if you need to make some money, I would probably just try and do like mowing lawns for cash or washing people's cars for cash or doing stuff for cash where you don't have tax forms to fill out. Because
Yeah.
that's where you're going to get attention drawn to you on the whole furlough thing. They'll be like, oh, well, you got a job and this and that, and we told you not to do that, and now you're in trouble and this and that and whatever. But, you know, I kind of like what you guys were saying in the chat, that it's like, look, if you know you're going to get that money paid to you when you go back to work, it shouldn't be that bad to borrow money if you need it. Find friends, family, whatever, to borrow some money. And Sale's got the website link in the chat there too, about they've got people that are willing to do, like, in hardship cases. Um, if you're desperate for money, they're offering unemployment. So, um, yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You got any more thoughts on it, Mianglios?
Uh, well, my mom is watching and she texted me and said that they could do volunteer work if they want to, or like volunteer for a nonprofit.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And a lot of times you don't even need to. Well, I guess it probably depends on the place. They might have you do some kind of official channel for some kind of volunteer work because they want to do a background check, make sure you're not, you know, an evil person or something. Um, but yeah,
I feel
volunteer
like,
work's great.
yeah, yeah, but other than that, I think we've said basically everything that I can think of for the topic.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Anonymous, for the topic. Thank you, chat, for all of your input. That was great. You guys are so smart.
Yeah, chat's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Anonymous, you're awesome too. And um like best wishes for like this time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you can make the most of it.
T, you got it,
Yeah.
buddy. Hey, hero. Hi.
Hello, hero.
Assembling a bike. Right on, man. What kind
How'd
of
the
bike?
birthday stream
Like a
go?
dirt bike or a motorcycle? Probably not a motorbike, I would guess. Or maybe hey, those got to be assembled too sometimes.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Assembling a like a motorcycle.
Yeah. That's a fun project. I've put together a handful of bikes in my time as a dad, and my own bikes too. Oh, just a mountain bike. Yeah, I've wanted one to be able to ride around for the longest time. Finally got one. Nice. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Nice. I'm glad to hear that, hero. I watched for like a little bit, but wasn't able to like stay for very long.
ah, nice. Yeah, bike building is fun. All stuff like that, assembling things, putting things together, building things. That's I love that kind of stuff. Wait, what just happened? Why did it go back to? Oh, oh, I
Um,
see what happened. All of a sudden, like my YouTube screen went off to the topic again, and I was like, "What the heck?" But
oh.
I don't think it happened live.
Yeah, I don't see it on my like I have the YouTube pulled up and I don't see the topic there.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're good. All right. Well, Anonymous, thank you for the topic. Hopefully that was beneficial for you. Hopefully help you feel a little bit at ease. But I think that's the main thing. Like, don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. It might seem like it could get stressful. And a lot of times change can be stressful. But you'll get through. It'll be all right. And you'll find some stuff to do. I promise. There's a million things out there. And you'll find some stuff. Um, so yeah. What do you say we move on to the next one, eh?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's reload this. Let's see if we got some more. Do, 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 do. All right. Nope. Oh boy. This could be an interesting topic. This also is from another anonymous person.
Ooh, what's the topic?
Okay. Let me I'll put it up here. All right, I'm gonna put this topic up. This is from Anonymous. This is about records. And it says this: why do you think vinyl records have come back? Do you think that would ever happen with cassette tapes? I know, right?
That's a fun topic.
Yeah. Yes, good luck, hero. Good luck on the bike. You're going to do great, I promise. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah, so why do you think vinyl has come back? Mianglios, do you have an opinion on this?
Um, one thought I have of like vinyls versus cassette tapes is with vinyls, I feel like with vinyls it's less about like the audio itself. Like in that case, like CDs would be like just as big a thing, or like cassette tapes, like they all have the audio, but I feel like the thing about vinyls is like the big like vinyl record, and you can have like the shelf with all the records in their little like sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the record player you can like put it on there and like watch it spin around.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like there's just like a certain vibe of like having a vinyl record playing that people like, and
Mm-hmm.
that's probably like why it came back.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure why things come back. I know that, you know, even when vinyl kind of went away, like you'd see recordings like when they went gold or platinum or whatever, they would like mount in a case a record of it, or at least some kind of big vinyl disc. So there's something classy about that big vinyl disc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saule says, I've been buying cassette tapes of 80s albums I like, but that's to listen in my 87 RX-7. Vinyls have a nice sound, warm tone in the same way a tube amp does, plus they're cool. Cassettes hiss. Yes, they do. Vinyl can be crackly.
Yeah, I feel like CDs are pretty like are just like the sound, and they don't have like one of those old effects with sounds like a vinyl or a cassette tape might have.
Uh-huh. That's true. Digital sound is different. It's more clear, it's more crisp, but it's also not as warm like you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Vinyls have a nice warm tone. Cassettes, man, honestly, to me, cassettes were just annoying. I mean, I grew up listening to cassettes. And even 8 tracks were, do you remember the 8 track? It was like a
Um,
cartridge.
that was before my
That was
time.
before my time too, but I remember riding in this really old like camper motorhome thing at one point in time, and they had an 8 track player in there, and you could still choose which song you wanted to play on the 8 track. It had 8 songs on it. It had 8 tracks, and so like you would just pick one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, or 8, right? And you'd just play that one. And it was like a cartridge that you stuck in the thing. And I think its mechanism still was like a tape, magnetic tape, like a cassette. But
Let's see.
cassettes, man, having to rewind the cassettes, having to like fast forward and do all that stuff is just there's a pain in the butt, man. Cassettes always seemed like a pain in the butt. But that was like the big thing when I was a little kid. And then I remember when CDs came out, and I was like, wait, you can just like pick what song, you hit this button and it plays that song? You mean I don't have to like fast forward and guess? Like, yes, you're right. 8 tracks are tape storage. You know, I have a bunch of CDs too, and I don't have a CD player. Except for like I have an external CD drive that plugs into my computer,
Mm.
but I don't have a
You know,
CD player in my car anymore.
I like I have like my like DVD player at my house like plays CDs too,
Mm,
but I feel like in buying CDs it's mostly just like the collectibleness of it. And
yes.
like most of the time when I listen to music, even stuff I have on CD, I'll usually just still pull it up on like whatever music streaming service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. I mean, when I once I got my Spotify account, then I was just like, that was it for me. I was like, dude, I have access to the entire library of music of the world. I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Sayole, I have the Criminal Idol CD too.
nice. I
Also,
probably sent it to you.
my mom says that this was her topic.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
So Maglios's mom, thank you for the topic. And you know, vinyls have some class to them. Cassettes seem like they were just annoying. I don't know. Like you and I might be of the same generation. And I don't know if cassette tapes would ever come back, but I kind of hope they don't.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably never gonna come back in like selling sense, like how vinyls and CDs are still sold for like new songs and stuff. I don't think cassettes are ever gonna come back in that way, but I feel like cassettes are still used in like pop culture stuff.
Hmm.
Where like, some like movies or games will like have references to cassette tapes or like have a thing where like they put in like a cassette movie or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like a VHS movie, like on
Oh,
VHS tape.
well like in the movie it's like a
Oh,
period piece or something.
oh, right, right.
Or
Yes.
like it's a spy movie and like they have like the mission on like a cassette or something. Or this one video game I've played has a alternate version of a level and they call it the B side, which is like a cassette tape term.
Mm, yep. Well, and it also was a vinyl term too. B-sides were vinyl as well.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you had two sides, right? I will say this in music production, there are still, I don't know if there are recording houses that use tape still, but I know mastering places still use tape. But they don't use cassettes, they use reel to reel tape,
I
and
see.
they'll use it in the mastering process to get that special sound that they're looking for. There's something about analog sound. Like Saule, you talked about it. Um, like vinyl has a nice warm tone that's analog, right? Digital is very clean, almost really sterile. It sounds good, but maybe almost a little too sterile. And so like there's richness in analog sound that you get from vinyl or cassette, when you're using magnet and stuff like that. Yeah, Moonlit. Digital sound
Yeah.
is too clean. And when we're talking about digital sound through like Spotify on MP3 format, now you're dealing with a compressed and, lossy, they call it. It's lost data, in the transfer and the condensing from the original file down to an MP3 so it doesn't have to take up as much
Oh,
space.
yeah.
So it's like, so the MP3 quality is not as good, but it's available everywhere and people listen to it all the time. But I also know some people who are very, very much purists when it comes to music. And they're like, I only listen to WAV files or FLAC files. I don't listen to MP3. And I'm like, well, if you listen to WAV files or FLAC files, you probably will listen to OGG Vorbis files too. And then they look at me
Wait,
like
what's
I'm.
an what's an Ogvorvis file?
It's another type of file, like a WAV file or a FLAC file.
Okay.
You know, it's one that is lossless, so it takes up more space on your machine, right? But you have the full quality, but it's still digital. It's not analog. And yes, Moonlit's got it here. Digital sound is too clean. Our brains appreciate a little bit of uncleanness. Yeah. Ellie's back. Why are we talking about the good old days? We're talking, this is our topic. The topic is, Ellie, I will read it again. Why do you think vinyl records have come back? Do you think that would ever happen with cassette tapes? That's the topic. That's our topic right now. Boy, and here we go. Jeff has seen all of these. I respect this man. He's been he he's been in radio for years and years and years, like ever since he was in college. Maybe before. Jeff, when did you start? You started like compiling top 40 stuff when you were a kid, right? But all right. So Jeff's got some comments here. Broadcast 1989 in college. All right. Cool. Um, the richness of reel to reel analog sound comes from its continuous nature, which preserves nuances and its characteristic type saturation and subtle harmonic distortion that add warmth and fullness, creating a lively, natural soundscape with an authentic spatial presentation. This rich, full bodied sound with wide dynamic range and organic texture is a significant part of its appeal for audiophiles and has led to a resurgence in the format's popularity. That sounds. Did you do a Google search? So says, I do love having my little 6922 tube amp hooked up to my tube amp at my computer, but I don't have an external DAC yet. Wait, Ellie, you hope cassettes come back? Oh, you pulled from your noodle notes. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, top 40 since 8 years old. Ellie, why do you hope cassettes come back? Cassettes are
I
annoying.
mean, Ellie says it was from her childhood, so maybe like I can understand in a nostalgia sense. Like, there's probably some stuff from my childhood that I'd be like, they should bring this back, even if it's like kind of outdated.
Yeah, you liked the rewinder. They were fun. You know what's fun? That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, when it was the only thing available when I was a kid, it was the main thing available were cassettes. It got annoying. And if you played them enough, excuse me, then it could get really funny because the tapes would kind of wear a little bit, and then sometimes the magnetic stuff would get a little bit jumbledy on there, and so
Mm,
so it would get like really weird sounding and stuff.
let's see. My mom still has a bunch of the cassette tapes that she had from uh when she was younger.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool is if you go back to those cassettes that were like popular like right before CDs came out, just look at the pictures of the people that did the music and look at their hair. And you see those 80s hairstyles, man.
Do you have a favorite band or like music artist from the 80s?
Oh my gosh. I remember one of my first favorite bands was Def Leppard. Their drummer had
I
one arm. AC/DC, huh, Ellie?
Yeah, I like AC/DC, and I think AC/DC was one of my dad's favorites.
Nice. Jimmy. Jimmy
Bon
says
Jovi's
Bon
good too.
Jovi. Kansas,
Nice.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah, look at their hair.
Journey,
Journey,
yup, all those are good.
Motley Crue. I liked Motley Crue. I like that hard rockin' stuff. I wasn't into Metallica yet. I didn't get into metal until later.
Billy Joel, if y'all know
Oh
Billy
yeah.
Joel.
Oh yeah. Billy Joel is huge, man.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Oh my gosh, Bon Jovi. Whoa, living on a prayer. Pull my hair.
Yeah.
Survivor. Wow. Ellie's got the classics. Oh my gosh.
Boston,
Boston.
oh, yo.
Yes. Boston's great. Actually, Boston, fun fact about Boston, you know, their guitarist was actually a genius level engineer from MIT.
Interesting.
Yep. And you can hear it in his guitar lines. His he's got that mentality, that precision, very you know, like everything was very, very precision focused in his guitar lines. Supertramp. Ugh. I love Supertramp. One of my favorite songs of all time is Take the Long Way Home by Supertramp.
I think I know that song. I did not know the group though.
Yeah.
Um, Van Halen,
Oh yeah.
the B-52s is I think the group
Yes.
that does Rock Lobster, I think
Rock
that's what they're
Lobster.
called.
Yes.
There's this 80s country group that my mom likes that I've been listening to called Sawyer Brown.
Hmm.
A lot of their music's more like fast-paced and peppy, like, and then they have some slow stuff too. But yeah, it's kind of it's cool how like so many of these bands in the 80s, like their music is still popular today.
I know. I know it's cool. I was just listening just yesterday. I pulled up Extreme on my Spotify. Remember Extreme? That dude, that guitar player, that band was crazy. Yep, More Than Words was their biggest hit, and then the second one was Wholehearted, but not WHOLE. It was just HOLE, like a hole in your heart, right?
Mhm.
That song, Wholehearted, has one of the coolest acoustic guitar riffs in it, and also some just hauntingly beautiful vocal harmonies.
Nice.
I don't like the message though, because it's all lovey-dovey, lovey stuff.
Oh, yeah, I feel like a lot of the music back then was like that.
Oh
And then
yeah.
like some of these artists are like still doing concerts and making music. Like I think AC/DC released a new album like a few years ago.
Oh my.
And like I've seen stuff like for some of these groups doing concerts. Like over the summer I went with my mom to a Sawyer Brown concert.
Uh huh. Sawyer Brown. He's
Have you
country,
heard of
yeah.
them or yeah.
Or they're, yeah, they're country, yeah.
Yeah.
I never got into country too much. You know, it's I appreciate country music. I just never really got into it.
Yeah, I get that. I don't really listen to country except for that one band that because my mom likes it and I'm like I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, this is good, but I don't listen to really any other country music.
You know what's really funny though, because there. So like I've done this with Ryan. I've done this with other musicians that I've helped start to learn how to arrange songs for, you know,
Mhm.
as you're creating a song. The song that I use as an example for arranging an instrument bed and how to put together a song, how to craft a song for like hit level play, right?
Mhm.
Is What Was I Thinking by country guy. Who did What Was I Thinking, Jeff? What was I thinking? Oh, what was I thinking? Dirks Bentley, country singer. That song I use as an example, and I will play it for him. Dirks B. Yeah. You were typing it as I said. Perfect. Yes. So like we'll play the song and I'll be like, okay, listen close, listen to what's going on. Don't listen to the song and get into the song. Like listen to the instruments, like how many there are and what they're doing, right? And so like we focus in on like all the different things and as they come in and how the song builds and then it goes back down and how it builds and how many different things are going on and what they're doing. And that song was such a really good example. Everything was really easy to pick out, everything was really easy to identify, and it was just like, okay, this is a really good example of how to build a song in the studio, right? And 2006 others. Sorry. Um sorry you had to experience that. But I've never been a fan of country music, but it's interesting that I use a country song as the example for how to, because you can take that same principle and put it in any genre. It doesn't have to be country, right?
Yeah. Is the stuff you're talking about, is some of it like, bridge, breakdown chorus,
Yep. Yep.
those
So,
kinds of
but
things?
but it's
Okay.
like the elements in there. So it's like, okay, so it starts off with just guitar and he starts singing with just guitar. So it's really simple. There's two things going on. And then the bass comes in and listen to how the bass enters, and then listen and then little bit of fiddle starts to come in. And then you've got some resophonic guitar that comes in and a layer on and the layers just continue to build and how they come in into smooth transitions, you know, and then it builds into like the first half of the verse is really small, it grows a little bit, and then in the chorus it's big, right? You've got a lot of different instruments going on. And if you listen close, you can hear, you know, even stuff that's really quiet in the background, but all those kind of make up that layered effect, right? And then after the chorus, it shuts back down and goes back to something really simple, like one instrument or maybe two and the vocal. And then, it continues to build, always using little melodies and little hooks, not just extra chords and stuff like that. So, but it was really interesting because I I remember explaining that to Ryan. We were sitting in the back seat of a car. His brother was driving. His brother's fiance was in the front seat, and we're listening to this song, and they're looking at us like we're idiots. But Ellie, oh boy. Anyway, I remember having this conversation with him, and that was early on before he had written. Well, he was still a teenager, right? And it was really interesting to hear the stuff that he was crafting after we had that conversation because he really took it to heart and he really listened in and he really started doing this. And he took that little bit of instruction I gave him with that example and he just exploded into what you see now. He did all this work and man, he's so good. Um thank you. Ellie, you're just picking on me now. See, I'm using my hands for the people that are not watching. And that's why, Manglios, I'd highly encourage you at some point to be on camera because then you can use your hands too.
Yeah.
Do
I
that
might at
on
some point.
do that on your own time, my friend. Wait, sign language? I don't know sign language. I know. Okay. I know. I have to go potty. Um.
The only sign language I know is the alphabet.
Ah, yes.
A friend I met in college who knows sign language taught like a group of us some sign language.
Yeah. I learned enough that so we taught my kids before they were able to talk a few things to sign, like if they wanted more, or more of something,
Mhm.
if they had to go pee or poop. No, wait, poop. This was no. I know a lot more than I think I do. Yeah. So anyway, we our topic has mutated a little bit.
I mean, I feel like a topic like this one is like open to kind of going on tangents like this.
Oh, of course, of
Sin-
course. I'm just impressed. I'm looking at this list of all these artists from back in the day, and I'm like, man, look at all these people have them on cassette.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the music stuff you were talking about reminds me of some stuff that Meow, my brother, uh was telling me because he does a lot of music stuff
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes he tells me about it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been on here in the chat.
Yeah. I miss your brother.
Yeah, he's gotten like busy with other stuff.
Yep. It happens. That's okay. Life takes
Yeah,
us.
but
Life takes us in directions, man. And so, yeah.
yeah, he's doing well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Is he still doing music?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, he's in university. He's majoring in music industry
Oh.
is the major. And one of his classes is this thing called ABC Ensemble, which stands for anything but classical. And basically, they like put them into rock bands and they like learn a set of songs and then have like a concert at the end of the semester.
Oh, I love that. That's so much better than the when I majored in music at university.
Which like they have the regular music major too, or like
Mm.
music education, like they still have all that too, but like this one's more like industry focused and like, you know, rock band type stuff, or like he's also taking a DJ class this semester.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Like
He was
if
telling me about like the fading, like doing a crossfade between songs.
mm-hmm. Yep. Man, I'm sure everything's a lot different now, man. When I went and did when I did audio production in college, um digital music was already out, but they still had us cutting and splicing actual reel to reel tape. Like cutting sections out, splicing it together, taping it, all this crazy stuff.
Nice. Y'all talking about David Bowie reminds me
David
of
Bowie.
that one video Ryan made like a while ago. I don't remember how David Bowie got brought up in the video, but one of those old videos that he took down,
Yeah.
there was a reference to David Bowie.
Man, oh man.
David Bowie does that one song that's like space, like that's about space, right?
David Bowie?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a lot of stuff. I never listened to much David Bowie.
Let's see. Oh, Jackson 5. I
The
think I've heard
Jackson
of
5.
them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of songs I know, but like I don't know the band name.
Mm-hmm. Did I ever see The Labyrinth, the movie? No, I saw part of it. I know David Bowie's in it. Yes, Jeff, I totally appreciate having come through the physical cutting of tapes ahead of learning digital editing. Yep, been using Adobe Audition 19 years now. Here's the thing about when you learn the principles of audio production in the analog, it makes you a lot more precise in your digital, like in your editing, when you're doing things digitally because you're taking what you knew, doing analog stuff and bring it into digital. I've noticed that people who start with digital, their edits aren't, I mean, people will still do clean editing, but I notice a lot less clean editing with people who haven't had experience with analog stuff. Um,
Mm.
you will mourn the loss of the fact that I haven't seen it. That's a loss. Oh my gosh. But that's awesome. So Miyamoto, or he's learning all this stuff.
Yeah, he's playing instruments, he's learning like he's mostly been like learning himself, like audio production and mixing stuff a little bit. I think there was one time he was on a call with Ryan learning about it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was like him and Raka were like learning about music editing stuff a while ago. But yeah, he's been doing music stuff,
Good,
working on some of his own songs while also doing like stuff for classes.
good, good. I remember hearing some of his stuff, and I'm like, there's a lot of potential here, and I hope he sticks with it. I'm glad to hear he's sticking, and continuing to move forward. And it sounds like he's found a program that that fits him well. So I'm really happy to hear that. Um,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I look like one of the characters? You look like one of the characters. If I shaved, I'd look like Toby. Wait a minute, Toby from Labyrinth. He's got hair. I'd have to grow some hair. What if Toby shaved his head?
Looking it up, honestly, I don't really see it. I don't know if it's the facial hair, but I don't really see it.
Do I look like the baby? Are you saying I'm like a baby face? Toby looks more like Fro. Yeah, he kind of does. He's got the hair. Fro is Jesse. Jesse at BSS. We call him Fro because his hair is like Fro.
I see. Some BSS lore I've never heard.
Yep. Yep.
Jesse has a fro style hair.
Jesse has a Fro. Yes. And it's not like he styles it that way. It's just how it is.
I see.
And he gets amazing hair. When he lets it grow, it gets big. It's like, whoa. But yeah, very curly hair. So wait, I'm confused. Are you saying I look like Toby as an adult or I look like Toby as a toddler from the movie? No, neither. Uh, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Oh my gosh. You can't what? Oh my gosh. This is great. All right. If you can't, then don't. I guess. I don't know. Oh, can't breathe. Well, I'm glad. I'm man, oh man. All right. Well, so there was something I wanted to say about vinyl. And one of the reasons I think why it made a comeback. And that's because of DJs. Like, DJs that,
Oh,
scratch record,
yeah, they have the
that stuff. They use vinyl. I remember I've never I've never really had a DJ as part of a band before that I was in. And they've always added so much. Like I remember really liking Incubus and I like 311 and they have a DJ as a member of their band, right? So they've got a classic like a regular rock band with the guitars, the bass, the drums and vocalists and everything, but then they also have a DJ in there. And I really like what those DJs bring to the table. And I never had one in any of the bands I was in. But I did get to jam with a guy who was a DJ one time. And we just got together for this impromptu jam session. Like me, I was playing guitar and, a bunch of friends. And then this dude that I'd never met before from the UP in Michigan, way up north in Michigan. And he had this like two, little two record player set thing and some little old speakers, that he had. And his collection of records was it was all music from cartoons in the 1970s. And
interesting.
and maybe some from the 80s too. Like he was what kind of jam was it? It was a jam session. Like we were jamming music, but I get you. You're silly. Ellie is being silly. um but anyway, I remember what he brought to that jam session in, using these sound effects and little bits of songs from these cartoons from the 70s and he made such an incredible difference in the kind of music we were creating because of what he did with these vinyl records. And so I think that might be part of why vinyl has made a resurgence, and never kind of fully went away like cassettes did. Because you can do that, you can use it as an instrument, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and you can do a lot of cool things with vinyl too. We talked about having Criminal Idol vinyl. We might still.
Yeah, it could be like it could be a product y'all released with Criminal Idol Season 2. You can
Mhm.
have both of them on vinyl, or it could be like a joint, like the 2-pack vinyl with like both albums.
Yeah. I mean, we'd probably do just like a limited run. We'd probably only make like 100 or maybe, or
Oh,
maybe like
yeah,
500 of them or something. Um,
yeah.
yeah. CDVNL.
CDVNL.
Oh my gosh. My kids
Did you come?
play me those songs just to torture me, I think.
Do you not like the songs you made
I
as
don't
CDVNL?
I don't like any of the songs I made ever. I don't, I by the time I'm done with them, um by the time I'm done with recording, I've written the song, I've practiced it, I've recorded it, I've then engineered it and then produced it and then mastered it and then released it. By the time all that happens, I'm so sick of that song
Uh,
that
okay.
I don't ever want to hear it again, right?
I
But
guess yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, but I'll tell you, my kids will play them because, like at first I thought they were just trying to, get under my skin a little bit and be sarcastic and make fun of me. But actually, they're they're acting like they're impressed that I've made music, right? And that it's out there and that and they like it. So, it's a cool thing to have your kids into your music, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine that does sound cool.
Yep.
I will say I agree with your kids that your songs are really good.
Oh,
I
thank you.
listen to them a lot.
Oh, thank you. Hey, August, welcome. Yep. Sail On and Message to Pop
A
Culture.
message to
Those
pop culture.
those were the two that I released as CDVNL. And then
Oh
and
yeah, and
Grow.
then a single duel, you and Steve, right?
Yep. Yep. And Grow was written of all those songs, Grow is the oldest.
Really?
I wrote Grow in 2010.
I see.
Yep. And the drum part was a recording from 2011.
Oh wow.
That was the one. That was the song that taught me a really, really important lesson because I sat down to record the drums for that, right? And I recorded the first take, and I was like, ugh, I don't like this take. I'm gonna do it again. And so I recorded 23 takes of the drums for that song. Took me all day. And the part that's on the release is the first take. So I could have just
Yeah,
stopped.
that happens a lot. In doing the music for like the one YouTube video I've made, I think I that happened to me too, where I did several takes and then I just ended up going with the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's pretty wild. I've run into that with Steve in the studio too, where we were so glad we had it recording. And so that's why we've always learned, hey, when we're sitting down to jam something out or work something out or whatever, we always record it, you know? And so just always hit the red button, the red record button. And now we recorded this one solo for this song that still hasn't been released yet. And um and it just, I mean, he poured his soul into it, It was just incredible, incredible guitar solo. And but the recording quality was not very good. And so we spent like 3 days trying to recreate that solo with better recording quality, and we never could. It's just that moment. Sometimes you have a moment in the studio that just something just sings and comes out and it's so good, and then you don't get that moment again. So always be recording.
Yeah.
August. August just finished a collab where he made music and a friend making an animation for your streamer boyo. That is awesome. Yes, highly recommend collabs. I do too. Dude, that can be the most fun. And you can come out with some really good stuff. We Want Out. We did that cover. That's BSS collabs, John O'Taylor, Static P, Savage Tunes, uh, and Cats. That was the biggest collab I've ever done so far, with the most amount of people that were all in different places and just collecting from everybody. That was a lot of fun. Wait, what?
I was asking if
Oh,
there's like a YouTube channel I can watch the thing they made on, like the collab they're working on.
oh yeah, yeah. August. If you want, you can Discord it to me, and I can put it in the I can put the link in the chat. If you Discord me the link, I can put it in the chat. Cause yeah, it won't let you post a link.
Or if there's just like a channel name, you can like put that in
Mm-hmm.
and like I can know to just type at and then the channel name into YouTube. I think that usually works to pull up a channel.
Right on. Yeah, that works too. Wait a minute, Ellie. Your brother said I look like Toby. Does he think I look like the toddler or the grown up? Maybe I think you look like Toby, Ellie. His face is surprisingly round. My face is surprisingly round? My head is round. Oh, nice. All right. There you go. My face is
Oh,
lovely.
Hero.
Moonlit.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some of Hero's stuff. Was it the was it for his birthday stream that he was doing?
If you check his most recent live, it's
Oh,
on there.
nice. Okay, yeah, I think I saw it a little bit. It had like Hero's like avatar that kind of looks like Link, and I think I heard like a little bit of music going with it. It was cool.
Well, look at this. Here you go. Bang. Yep.
Nice.
Animation and by artwork in progress. Music by August Stars. Heck yeah, man.
Awesome.
Nice. I'm looking forward to watching that. I will watch it
Yeah,
later.
I might have to pull it back up.
Yeah. God,
Joe, something I've wondered, like when listening to your songs or like the songs that you and Steve did,
mm-hmm.
Step Aside, is that about like a certain like occurrence that happened, or is that something y'all just came up with?
Um, it was a little exaggerated, but it was based on a true incident.
Okay.
I never got like thrown,
Yeah, yeah, but like,
but I did get bullied by police when I was a teenager and in my 20s. Um I felt like I got bullied by police anyway. They were always bothering me. And part of it was I had long hair and, whatever, and a goatee, and I was a musician, and so I kind of looked like some riffraff and whatnot. And I live in a small town, and small town cops are bored. And one of the things one of the things that was interesting was the incident that was kind of like that song kind of referred to. There was a kid who bullied me in high school that then became a cop, and it was an incident when he was a cop.
Mm, okay, I see.
And I noticed that that happened in my town a lot, where bullies in high school ended up being cops, local police, like city police. And I just remember them being bullies in school, and then they got into police work, and they were bullies in police work. And yeah,
I see. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Like most of the other songs, I like could kind of, or at least I think I can kind of see like, the message or like where it's coming from. But that one, I kind of wondered about
mm-hmm.
for a little while.
Yep, yep. Ellie, I'm sorry that you feel sick, but man, laughing is really good to do, and I'm glad you do. So yes, go take care of yourself. Thank you for contributing so much to the chat. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I look like Toby though. I do gotta say. Sure about that. Maybe a little. I don't know.
Um, I think like we've probably like finished with that topic if we want to like formally like finish the topic that
Yeah.
was submitted.
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys. Was there so I thank you, Mianglios' mom, for this topic. It was very interesting. Went a lot on a lot of tangents, which was great. So I really appreciate it. And honestly, I still stand by I hope cassette tapes don't make a comeback.
Yeah, and I feel like they probably won't make a comeback.
Yeah. If they do, I will probably not participate. But I have to right now. In fact, here's an interesting story about cassette tape. There's an artist on our roster at BSS named Tony Burdick, and he has a bunch of music that he had recorded years and years ago, and it's all on cassette. And so I had to get on Amazon and find a cassette player that I could hook into my computer, so that I could transfer the songs from cassette and you know and then transfer them so I could have them as files on my computer. And it was such a pain in my butt. So um, I'm not looking forward to the resurgence of cassettes if it happens, but that's okay. Um, so thank you so much for the topic. I hope you had as much fun hearing us talk about it as we had talking about it, because that was fun, man. That was
Yeah.
Everybody chipped in. It was nice to see Jeff coming in. Jeff's got some history in the music industry as far as like radio is concerned and broadcast and all this stuff, and it's great. I mean, like the music industry has so many different elements, and it's crazy. But and it's all this. We kind of take it for granted, but there's all these parts that move in there to bring us music. Um, I don't know. It's fun, but humans are very, very brilliant. And to come up with the ideas for vinyl, to come up with the ideas of magnetism to make sound and to record sound and all this, it just is incredible to me what we've created so we can enjoy music. And then artists just take it and run with it and create. And to me, that whole thing is just beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
so I do enjoy talking about it a lot, and I hope we get to talk about it more um, sometime. But thank you so much for the topic. Um, yeah, and that brings us to about the end of the stream here.
Yeah. It's about 9 where I am,
Yep,
which
it's a little
is
after
what
10 here.
the end time. Yeah.
Yep,
Probably, I don't know, like 6 a.m. for somebody else.
yep, yep. I think Twashu, if you're still here, I'm sure it's about 4 in the morning for you. Um, some of you are out on the West Coast where it's like, 7. Um, so, but anyway, um, we're glad to have you guys. Oh, and it's time to end. Ellie got sick, and so yeah, now we definitely have to end the stream. So 10:04. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Mianglios. Thank you. Do you have any words of wisdom for our people before we go?
Um, uh, I didn't expect to be put on the spot like
I'm
this.
putting you on the spot, man.
Um,
You're gonna have to get used to it. I'm just kidding.
um, oh no.
If you don't,
Let me think of something real quick.
if you don't, it's okay. You can, if you want to think. I'll fill the air with noise while you think. Um, guys, it's always such a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to have people with us. And Mianglios, you've been a regular participant in our chat for a long time, and I appreciate you so much. And I really appreciate you volunteering to step in while Ryan's on an airplane and not able to be with us. So I really appreciate that a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I am like happy to have the opportunity to do this. Um, Not anything profound, but I guess just, keep keep enjoying life, finding the good in things, not letting all the negative keep you down, being a light amidst darkness or amidst other light.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is great. Because darkness is easy to find, isn't it?
yeah,
It's easy to find in your own head. And I'm sure you've been through some dark times. I know you have actually, Manglios. And
yeah,
yeah, yep, your whole family. And it's amazing though when you go through some of those dark times how much your heart can be opened to be compassionate for others. And even though those painful times are so hard, um, but it is easy to dwell there. And I would say I would agree with you. Look for light. Don't get stuck
yeah,
down there. It's no fun. I've been stuck down there a lot, and it's a lot better to not be.
yeah.
So, thank you so much. And Mianglios's mom, if you are still watching, thank you for raising your children to be such wonderful kids and young men. Actually, between you and your brother, that I know, you guys are great people. So, my hats off
Thank
to
you.
you as a mother, Mianglios's mom. So, thank you for what you have done and continue to do in their lives. And yeah, thank you guys for being with us. All of you guys. Thanks, Jeff. When the darkness comes. That's right. Don't betray
Yo,
yourself. Don't betray yourself for it. Yeah.
because the darkness isn't out to do you well.
Blah, 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 blah. Yep.
But yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks chat for being so active and having so many good things to say.
Mm hmm. Yep.
And my mom said thanks for the compliment.
Oh, of course. You're very welcome. One day, maybe, God willing, we'll all meet in person. That'd be something.
Yeah, I would like to do that at some point, but
Well,
it'd probably be like a summer trip at some point.
we're only one time zone apart from what you told me. So it's like
Yeah,
I've
it's
visited
nothing.
people more time zones away. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it'd be a fun road trip,
it would
I
be. It'd
think.
be cool. It'd be cool.
I'm sure there's probably some fun things to do in Michigan also.
I mean, yeah, there is fun stuff to do in Michigan. So I don't know. I don't you generally have to go outside of the state unless I want to go to Cedar Point, but that's in Ohio, Like
Mm.
Ohio, I think Michigan's more fun than Ohio, except Ohio has Cedar Point. Wait, you were driving around St. John's and DeWitt late morning today? Dude, were you driving like by my house? You stalking me? Cuz that's like my stomping grounds, man. That's where I got pulled over by the cops too. Close. See, now Jeff's been to my house. He knows where I live. So, like, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves and the people you love and care about. And join us next week for Don't Worry Wednesday. And until then, we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yup. See y'all next week.
Take care, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.